after the big 20th episode of this series, I would release at least 21 or maybe even more after this one. And it's random lift sword time. I'm back at France Avenue and first to one of the Schindler's Mod MRLs in the Science and Art City car park. This was the one that has doors replaced not long ago. And now to that Schindler's Mountain Mario Nice by Alipod I could remember from a couple of years ago. I must film this, but now in my 2025 visit to this car park, this lift wasn't working. I bet it wasn't working because this mod is absolutely crap. It's just as crap as the Hobbit Dancing mods of the other lists in Science and Art City. It's just as horrible. And that's how this doesn't work because it is a bad modernization after all. And now, let's walk the rest of the car park to find out where's the fully original Schindler's Mountain Morel. And now to the fully original Schindler's Mountain Morel. But this wasn't working either. I don't believe it. And now to the other modernized Schindler's Mountain Morel, which was the one I filmed last time. And I shouldn't have featured this because this mod is a load of crap.
Planta 1. Planta 0.
And now, here's a map with all of the lists in the Science and Art City car park. The ones that weren't working were the two ones in the north end, and the ones that were working that I filmed just now are just retakes of the other two in the south end. And now, let's cross over to the nearby hotels, and here's some green requesting devices, which are incredibly rare in Spain. And now to the hotels nearby the Science and Art City, and first to the Science Building. I expected these hotels to have Schindler iconics, but no, these actually are some really nice 90s IMEM lists. The ones I filmed in the Science Building had their buttons replaced to Petals cheap versions of the Otis resistor buttons, and the other ones in the Arts Building have had the inside buttons replaced to Shanghai Step. But first, let's write the list in the Science Building. Announceable in the arts building. And now, let's go back to the sites in our city. And now to the other shiplet hydraulic circular lift. This lift is still shown on the pit, and I doubt that this lift is going to be fixed at any moment soon. let's walk to the other end of the science in our city to go to what really is the France Avenue. And here is the Hemis Ferry. There's also a lift inside the Hemis Ferry, which really he can't get onto this for some stupid reason. The lift is a Schindler mic on it that's been kept original, but you can't get onto this sadly as the access to the lift is barricaded and you have to walk down some stairs to enter the Hemisphere. It's just a complicated thing to get into this one. But oh well, the lift is still in this place and nobody has filmed this yet for some reason because they just decided to close it for the public. And since this was filmed on a Friday, the science in our city at this day feels really peaceful. There's practically no one around. The Museum of the Science in our City is a very symbolic building which really represents the science in our city in this case. And now, behind the museum, there's a small stage. And on this small stage is where the Big Sound Festival is going to be performed. The upcoming Big Sound Festival is going to be performed in that huge pool in the far end of the science in our city, which is where it's next to Oceanographic. And now, I've had just about the France Avenue, now into a courting list, and first to the epic Schindler Euro list down to the car parks only. And when I filmed these back in 2017 for the third or fourth time, this is the early years where -4 and -5 started to be staff only. It didn't really make any sense to load -4 because at some occasions in the Christmas breaks, these departments are going to be extremely crowded of people, and there's only 3 car floors open as usual. And for that typical case, we can open -4. But I highly doubt it for -5 because it has now been turned into a storage room for some reason. There were loads of rooms in floor -5 when I last went down there in 2016, and I can't imagine how my floor -5 will be up to this day. Anyways, let's buy these Euro lifts. Announced for main list. -3 was open today, but I couldn't call this as floor -3 and these list was still locked off for some reason. And only I could get a couple of floors in these lists by myself, despite being a Friday. Oh dear. Maybe next time I go back to this courting list department store, hopefully it's gonna be a retake early in the morning, because early in the morning at some extent the lists aren't that busy, and I believe that this department store opens at about 8:30 in the morning.
Sí, que es algo distinto, que es como nuevo.
Exacto.
Sí, pero creía que lo enfocabas a que es más selecto y le va a molar porque es selecto.
No, que es diferente, que nos estás regalando uno de 10 unos.
¿Pero a qué piso van?
Al 8.
Ah, vale.
A ver,
Qué susto.
Заходите домой.
sí, que es algo más moderneca.
Сейчас у него наступит. Он вот этот чувак не знает.
Y al padre has hecho un pack con los tres.
Perdón.
Está bien. ¿A qué piso? ¿A qué? ¿A qué piso vas? De apretado. Aquí son las tres.
Какой этаж? Пятый.
Bajamos aquí. ¿Vale? María.
На ручку не купил. Тяжелушку.
No, al uno no. Entra más.
Arriba.
Sí, pero luego baja.
Дали, чтобы они, блядь, опять выходили на лето. Salimos.
Sí, sí. Ven, dame.
¿Qué?
Se rapa. No quiere.
Lo que es como es que creo que habría mucho
Vale, vale.
¿no? Digo yo, es que el uno no creo. La tapa está aquí dentro metida. Ahí, espera, me pongo de la tapa. Así pues. Este no.
¿Tú de qué te ríes?
¿Qué te está riendo? Me dices.
Ah, se lo tomamos el beso.
Al B. Pero le has dado al B.
Adiós.
Hasta luego.
And now, a couple of hours later, I've left the department store. But after I was on the chill out on the 8th floor, I had to walk down the escalators to the 5th floor because I was going to give one of my best friends a table game. A table game that was on the 5th floor, and all of the table games were at that floor typically. And now, back to the Oceanic Hotel, and let's retake the Otis 2000 VFS Fair. And now to the more nice Torona or 96 at the Zara in Iaco Shopping Centre. This time, I was able to get a full ride on this lift.
Subiendo.
And now, let's retake the car park lifts, and first to the one that only goes as far as car park 3. To the nearby hotels. The proposal for this one was to retake them with my camera, because last time I filmed these, my camera was running out of battery and I had to film them with my phone. Anyways, first up, into the Union Aqua 4 Hotel. The Restaurant Express lift still wasn't working, but I'm gonna ride the main lifts instead, and those were the only ones I filmed in this hotel.
Planta 9. Planta 0.
Now to the list in the Union Aqua Free Hotel.
Planta 5. Planta 4.
And now to the list outside. The ones I filmed last time were all 3 of them, and when I filmed the list between ground and 4 only, I filmed them with my phone. Now I'm gonna retake them with my camera, and those are the ones I only managed to film this time. My camera's battery was already dying, and I couldn't get a retake of the lift that not only just goes between ground and 4, but also goes down to the car park levels as well.
Planta 0.
Subí.
Ja, en dan tot 4 minuten, dan tot de
Planta 4.
And now to the maidens in the shopping centre. I only got a couple of floors this time by myself, but the lift started being a bit busy once I reached the first floor. And when I reached lower ground on these lifts, my camera's battery already died.
Mickey Mouse. ¿Pasa, papá? No pasa. Cuando dejemos una valija, nos bajamos un ratito. Vale. Aquí. Vamos.